Hi everybody, Kaiwaza with you. Welcome back to my channel and our Hawaiian record videos. I just finished the letter R, and so that's done, but we're going to continue on with the letter R in my South Pacific records, and if we have time, start on the letter R in my Exotica records before we move on to the next letter. So today, first up in South Pacific records, an album called, I won't try and say it in French, I really don't speak French, but Tahiti, You Smile, that's what it means. Now this is on Manu Iti Records. It is recorded in Tahiti. And it's by the Royal Stars of the Zizou Bar. And forgive my writing, it is me writing. I do write when they're in foreign languages that I don't understand. I look up the translations and I usually write them on the jacket, which I know is sort of sacrilegious to some people, but I want to know what it means. Beautiful cover on that, don't you think? Next up, Royal Tahitian Dance Company. And you will notice on this one that it says donated to KTUH. Back in the day, when I was a college student and afterwards, I did Hawaiian shows, volunteer. It's a volunteer student-oriented radio station at the University of Hawaii, and I did Hawaiian music shows there. In fact, I was really proud of what we did. We, during my tenure there, expanded the number of Hawaiian music shows on the station so I think it was 3 days a week, because it was only once or something. We had it 3 or 4 days a week, so I was happy of that. We used to come on right before the news time. And this album is from 1974. Now, I actually remember buying this one when I was in college, and we went living in South Carolina, and we went to a college theater trip to New York City and took in some shows and whatever. On our free day there, I went by myself because I wanted to go record shopping, you know, and I did. And this is one that I found in a record store. Yeah, so the Royal Tahitian Dance Company. This is one of those companies that used to tour around with... Oh, they donated the KTUH part, right. I used to take some of my own records to the radio station at KTUH and play them because their Hawaiian selection was kind of limited. And I would take some of my own records, and I left this one there accidentally by mistake. And the manager of the station wrote, oh, great, like, oh, donated, and put it... And I found it in the collection, and I was like, no. Mistake. I want it back. I'm not donating it. So these guys used to tour around the world promoting travel to Tahiti. Here's one from the Fiji Islands. Holiday in Fiji, Moments to Remember with the Reef Lodge Trio, little hotel band there. And the cover on this is great. This particular one was a demo for somewhere, I don't know. It's a mix of some instrumentals and some vocals, Viking Records. Holiday in Fiji. Alright, last on the South Pacific records. Also from Viking, who did Viking Records out of New Zealand. In my South Pacific records, you'll see plenty of Viking music. They did a lot of South Pacific records. Rarotonga Holiday. Rarotonga, in case you don't know, is in the Cook Islands in the South Pacific. And this is just a mix of different folk songs sung by different groups. They give the names of the groups and the artists, and a couple of them, it just says played by popular band. I don't know if that was actually their name or what. I love the cover. We see a lovely cruise ship here. I'm just saying this to plug that I myself will be on one of these lovely cruise ships in October. I'm going to on a cruise in the South Pacific, Tahiti side. There's islands around Tahiti, the Cook Islands, and the Marquesas. So 14 nights. It's going to be amazing, and I will be sitting on one of those drinking my pina colada or margarita or whatever, looking out at Rarotonga. Okay. Let's continue. That's it for the South Pacific records. Now we're going to go to the Exotica records under the letter R. However, first I want to show you something that's an update because it's a new Exotica record that I got actually under a letter we've already covered, the letter T, so I'm going to show it to you. It's a box set. It was just released recently. You might have heard about it if you're into this Exotica vinyl and whatever, Exotica community, Tiki community. It's called Technicolor Paradise, Rum Rhapsodies, and Other Exotic Delights, and it's a 3-record set. Yeah, and I did go ahead and spring for this. I mean, I didn't pay a fortune, but I thought, when I saw the track listings, I kind of thought, yeah, you know what, I think it's worth getting, I think. And I think it pretty much is. It is 3-record set. Now this is all old music, mind you, and these are all pretty much, I think, singles, 45s for the most part, that were in the Exotica realm. So there's a lot of stuff you probably, they wouldn't be on record albums, and you wouldn't have really had an opportunity to hear very many of them. What's really nice about this set is it comes with a nice, thick book that just sort of explains everything. Has pictures, and it talks about every single song in the set. Like I said, it's a 3-record set. It talks about information, almost too much information really, but information about every single song and every artist. Some people they didn't know that much about, but they wrote whatever they could find out, and there's a lot of information in here. But anyway, I think this does suffer a little bit, the 45. To me, this is just a personal opinion, it suffers the fault that a lot of modern Exotica reissues and a lot of Exotica new bands have, in my mind, and this is just my personal opinion, which is that they seem to have a lot of Arabian, Middle Eastern sort of music, like burlesque, or kind of teeny bopper, but Middle Eastern inspired kind of music, which I understand totally does belong in Exotica. I mean, it does, but personally to me, it just doesn't appeal to me as much. I prefer, the songs that have a Polynesian influence, or Asian, or even like Latin American, whatever. But I don't know, the Middle Eastern stuff, I like it, but there is quite a bit of it in this set. And that's slightly disappointing. Slightly. I mean, I was kind of expecting it. So, but it's good, and there's a lot of good material on here. And the record covers are kind of interesting that they've chosen too. One of them, there's 3, and you might recognize these because when they take pictures for record covers, of course they would have taken many pictures and just used one. So what happens to all those other pictures? Well, I don't know exactly where they go, but these guys track some down. One of them, they used what were like outtakes or not used pictures from the Ventures albums. You might recognize that. Here's a record you might, I don't know what this one is from, but this one you might recognize as being an alternative take or another take of the Martin Denny Hypnotique record with Sandy Warner. But my favorite was this one, which I love this picture, and you might recognize this setup if you have the George Cates Hawaii album. Or if you have another Exotica album, the Yokohama Nights, also same lady, same setting. I love to see that kind of stuff show up. So anyway, I'm going to stop there. I don't want this video to be too long. So on the next video, we will start with Exotica under the letter R, and we should maybe finish that one video. I'm not sure. We'll talk to you next time, and have a good next few days.